What is going on, y'all? It is the Caveman back at it again with another video. Today I'm doing part 2 of my top 32 wide receivers in the NFL. Yesterday I did 32 through 11, and now today I'm doing part 2, which is the top 10. I said it constantly in my video yesterday, but making a top 32 wide receiver list is brain shattering. You will go numb trying to figure this out. It really is borderline impossible. With that in mind, I challenge you to try and make a top 32 wide receiver list. You will not have fun doing so. But before I get into my top 10, you guys know the drill around here. Mott's applesauce, if you're ever hungry, thirsty, whatever it might be, Mott's applesauce will satisfy whatever satisfying you to satisfy with the Caveman guarantee. I promise it will never fail you. Alright, so as I mentioned, this is part 2 of the top 32 wide receivers in the NFL. This will be the top 10. I did the top 32 through 11 yesterday. I find it much easier to break these lists up into 2 parts because then I can get more in depth about each tier and each individual player. Whereas if I did the whole list in one video, it's like a 13 to 16 minute video, then I can't get as in depth, and nobody wants to watch all that. This is much easier. If you're not familiar with how I do things around here, I do rank them 1 through 32 numerically, but I also make it a tier list. So you're going to see a color key, which I'll throw up on screen here, and the colors determine the tiers of the players that you'll see on screen. Alright, so let's get into it. My top 10 wide receivers after the 2021 season going into 2022. Starting with 10 through 7, this is the second half of my elite tier. The first half of my elite tier was 11 through 13 in part 1. And here we have Jamar Chase at 7, AJ Brown at 8, and then we got Deebo Samuel at 9, and Mike Evans at 10. I know some people are starting to leave Mike Evans out of their top 10, but I'm just not there yet personally. There are other young star wide receivers that will probably be taking his spot in just a matter of time. But what Mike Evans brings to the table, not only as a red zone threat, but just a deep threat in general, it's just far too good for me to be bumping him out. At number 9, I got Deebo, and almost by force. I'm not somebody that's the biggest fan of Deebo as a wide receiver. I think he's one of the best playmakers, one of the best ball carriers that the NFL has to offer. But if someone were to hypothetically tell me to choose 10 wide receivers in the NFL that I would want to run like a deep post or a post corner, a deep dig, a deep comeback, like anything from intermediate to deep, I mean, I probably would not be taking Deebo Samuel. He's tremendous in the short game. He's tremendous on screens, getting the ball in his hands quick. But when it comes to being a wide receiver from the intermediate to deep ball game, there are a lot of wide receivers that I would prefer to have over Deebo, but just because he's a wide receiver, the statistics that he's put up and what he's been able to do this past season, he has to be in the top 10. At number 8, we get AJ Brown, and I think he's one of the most well-rounded, tremendous wide receivers that this league has to offer. I think he almost probably could do what Deebo Samuel could do. Obviously, probably not as well, but I think he can take that same kind of contact, and he can be a great ball carrier after the catch. Top of it, he's a great deep threat as well. He will go up and get the ball in a contested situation. He will rip the ball from a defensive back's hands. He can do it all, and I admire AJ Brown as a wide receiver, so I would not be surprised if he was closer to the top 5 after this season. But that situation in Philadelphia actually might drag him down. I'm not sure if having Jalen Hurts or Ryan Tannehill is a better situation. I guess we'll find out. And at number 7, to round out my elite tier, we got Jamar Chase for extremely obvious reasons. What Jamar Chase was able to do, not only for that Bengals offense, but for the Bengals team as a whole and Joe Burrow, I mean, I just really haven't seen anything like it. I will firmly stand my ground that the Bengals may miss the postseason entirely if it weren't for Jamar Chase. Like, that's how big of an impact he had for that Bengals team. As you can tell, I'm fully prepared to acknowledge the rookie season that Jamar Chase had, but I see people putting him in the top 5 already, and I mean, I think that's completely ludicrous. There are guys that have Jamar Chase type of impact on their team, and they've been doing it for years and years and years. I mean, Jamar Chase has done it for 1 season, and I'm pretty positive he's going to do it for a 2nd season, but until he does that, I can't be putting him in the top 5 over these other guys that have established body of work. I usually am somebody that hates to put a first-year player in a top 10 list just because I like to see that production, that impact a multiple of times. So it's already rare and hard enough for me to put Jamar Chase in the top 10. Top 5, maybe after next year, but for right now, see you later on that one. Finally, we move into the last tier of my top 32 wide receivers. This is the top 6 being the S tier. These are the best of the best. 6 of these wide receivers have proven to be ridiculously talented and well-rounded and have been producing a number of years over the course of their career. And at number 1, I have Davante Adams. I mean, it's kind of hard to dethrone a guy that is probably, in my opinion, the most well-rounded wide receiver that we have right now. He's probably a top 3 red zone threat in the NFL. He's also the best route runner in the league. He's one of the best deep threats. Like, this dude really does it all. So it's hard to knock him off this throne just yet. Cooper Kupp had one of the best wide receiver seasons that we've ever seen in history. He's silently been one of the better wide receivers in the league, and it was just a matter of time before he broke out. Once Matthew Stafford got there, we saw the result of that. At this point in time, I mean, I think Cooper Kupp's the only guy that can maybe contest Davante Adams, and that would require Cooper Kupp to have a season like he just had the past Davante Adams once again. So I don't know if that's going to happen. That's just how highly I hold Davante Adams. Number 3, we got Justin Jefferson. It might be premature to put him over the rest of the guys in the top 6, but I mean, Justin Jefferson is a very unique talent in himself. I mean, similar to Davante Adams, he's got some of the best route running skills in the NFL. He's one of the best deep threats. He may be the best deep threat next to Jamar Chase. At number 4, we got D-Hop. I don't know if it's controversial to have him at number 4. Maybe it's too high. He's going to be missing 12 consecutive games. Who knows what he's going to return looking like. This dude, I mean, my God, he's got the best hands that I think I've ever seen. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous some of the catches he's been able to make over the course of his career. His first season with Arizona was tremendous, but I feel like ever since then, he's just not been able to produce at that same level, or at least the level that we were used to seeing him produce at on a year-to-year, week-to-week basis with Houston. With that being said, I've silently mentioned it a couple times this offseason, but I have a bad feeling that we've seen the last of prime DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, we saw the Hail Murray, but other than that, I just don't know what he's going to have left after he comes back from the 12-game suspension. I don't think he's in the best situation. Kyler Murray isn't the best passer. Cliff Kingsbury's a complete moron. I can be completely off base with that take, but that's just an inkling that I have. But we saw the impact that DeAndre Hopkins had on that Cardinals team. Once he went down with what I thought was a knee or leg injury, the Cardinals completely collapsed. I mean, they started off 8 or 9-0, and then he got hurt, and suddenly the Cardinals sucked ass. I mean, it was no coincidence, guys. But D-Hop at 4 is, I think, a rightful spot. And then we got 5 and 6. Tyreek Hill and Stephon Diggs, who I find to be interchangeable, which you might think is ludicrous, because some people probably have Tyreek Hill in their top 3. But this season, Tyreek Hill showed that he was more than human. I mean, speed is not the only thing that matters. Quickness is not the only thing that matters. Tyreek Hill has a ball security issue in sense of catching the ball. Like, he had a number of drops, which resulted in a number of Patrick Mahomes interceptions. It seemed like this season defenses started to figure out how to limit Tyreek Hill and the deep ball. So without that, I mean, Tyreek Hill is still a tremendous threat in the intermediate to short game. Taking away his deep game, which I really think is the biggest draw that Tyreek Hill brings to the table, obviously, just makes him a little bit more human. And in combination with his Butterfingers, you can easily make the argument for Stephon Diggs over him. I mean, Stephon Diggs is one of the best route runners in the NFL. He's got some of the best hands in the NFL. This dude is secure. He catches the ball 9 out of 10 times, unlike Tyreek Hill. Depending on what kind of mood you catch me in, I might be taking the guy that can catch the ball over the guy with ridiculous speed, but Tyreek Hill's speed is just not regular speed. I mean, it is different speed, so that's why I have him at 5 still, but Stephon Diggs has an argument here. So yeah, that will round out the top tier, the S tier for the NFL, the top 6 wide receivers. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. I'll throw the entirety of the top 10 on screen, and in just a couple seconds, I'm also going to put up the entire top 32 list. Let me know any and all thoughts you have. We will never 100% agree on a list like this because it is so impossible, but I want to have conversation. Leave your thoughts down below, and as always, if you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, all the fun stuff. If you want to hit the bell to be notified when I upload, I'd appreciate that. If you want to go over to Twitter, follow me over there, I'd appreciate that as well. I have a TikTok down in my description that I think you should check out, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.